I'm Geoffrey. Today I will be doing a comparison between War Thunder, which is a game about tanks, airplanes, and ships, with World of Tanks. Now, the same company that has World of Tanks also has World of Airplanes and World of Battleships, but they're separate games. In War Thunder, in principle, you can have I guess you can have airplanes and tanks in the same battle, and you can have airplanes and ships in the same battle. You cannot have ships and airplanes and tanks in the same battle, obviously. But anyway, so I will do a comparison between the two games as far as tanks go from the viewpoint of tanks. So land-based combat, and I will tell you what I think is good about them and what I think is not so good about them. I'll compare the two. So let's start with War Thunder, which I started playing recently. And so here's all the tanks that I have been playing. This is a German Panzer Panzer 2F. And it's one of the early war tanks. Not so early. I think this was already in 1941 or so, invasion of Russia, Operation Barbarossa, and so on. So it's not that early. Some of the tanks are a little bit earlier. From the time of the invasion of France and so on. So here I've put, I was given some, some kind of free decals or something. You can see on the right of the face of the tank, so on the left side of the tank, there's this trident. That was a mark of one of the Panzer divisions, Panzer Division 1 or 2. And the side I've put this decal with a number. So these ones you either give them as kind of reward or you have to buy them. To get the cross, the German cross, whatever it was called, you actually have to win a certain number of battles or something. You cannot put it on your tanks, so the tanks don't have it as a default. The German tanks or the Russian tanks don't have the red star or whatever. I find this strange, but anyway, that's how it is. And you start in the same way as in World of Tanks. You start with some basic tanks, basically. And then what I find weird is that as you kind of progress, I find this a little bit strange, you're getting later and later in the war. Now, you could say that Total War series is like this. But the problem is that very often, because it's a multiplayer game, all the best players that have a lot of experience tend not to play during sort of the historical period, the actual war. To play fantasy tanks from after the Second World War. And what's the point of that? I find it totally pointless. It's like you want to play Rome 2, but all the players are inexperienced. So you have to wait and grind and so on, so you can get to Attila and maybe eventually to Napoleon, so you can play against the good players. I mean, it makes no sense. I want to play with the good players in Rome too, and Attila and medieval too. I don't want to play necessarily Napoleon, and I don't want necessarily to play 1970s, 1980s airplanes and ships and tanks. I want to play Second World War tanks. Anyway, so one thing that I find weird is that it's the same in both games. Okay, so here's another tank. This is also from the early war. Some kind of Czech design that the Germans, they kind of commissioned all the Czech tanks that they captured. And this is Panzer Division 2, I think. You can see the decal on the side of the gun. That's where they were usually put, either down below if there was room or on the turret. Usually down below. If there was no room on the turret or on the face of the tank, they would put it on the fenders, that is the bits that are above the wheels, but facing forward for some reason. So you have to be able to see them from the front. And sometimes later on in the war, they put them on the sides rather than on the front of the tank for whatever reason. This is another Panzer II, but this is from the Deutsche Afrika Corps. So Rommel's sort of army, a different kind of decal. You can see this kind of palm tree with the X thing on the side of the front there, on the left side of the tank. If you're a tank, right side as you look at it. So here's the tank we'll be playing as, and I'm going to show you how you can open up the replay. So you go here where it says community, and then you have options there. You see leaderboards, squadrons, replays, invite a friend, tournaments, and streams and replays. Don't open the streams and replays. You will never find your replays there. So you have to open the one that says replays, and then you get a list of all your battles, or some of your battles, the recent ones that have been saved, and you can also manually save them. And then you can choose one, and so let's launch this battle, and then we'll go into the battle. So here's the battle. We're waiting for the battle to start. We're playing with a Panzer IV-F. This is a replay. And all the team is parachuted onto the battlefield. So there are 10 or 15 players, same as in World of Tanks, 15 players aside. And the weird thing that happens, same in World of Tanks, is that most of the players are clueless. And the teams are just totally clueless. And what they do is they just sit on the back and or go to one side. And here what you have to do, you see this base, it's the base A, it's marked with the A in the middle of the battlefield. So you have to go and capture it. And if you capture it, you win. Well, so what does the team do? They sit behind some mountains at the back, near the red line, and and wait to see what might happen. Maybe the enemy team will capture the base. Or if they capture, what will happen? Maybe they will leave the base. Maybe we will win or something. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm the only one who's going to capture the base. All the other ones are hanging back. You can see on the minimap, I've nearly gone to the base. Everybody else sits back and watches what's going to happen. I'm the only one here. Not only that, but I'm being flanked even because the enemy team is not doing anything. This guy's a bot, completely charges forward to a random position. He leaves him, I had to kill him because he was on my flank. What has the bot gone? I have no idea. It just disappeared. He hasn't even gone to capture the base. What on earth is going on? I really have no idea what people are doing in these games. Do they know? Do they know what we're supposed to do? What a tank is, or what does it mean to capture a base? I mean, it's the same in both games. So now some enemy tanks appeared. So these guys know what they're doing. So I'm shooting this one. I can shoot also with the machine guns. Because while you're shooting with the machine guns, it makes some noise and stuff, and so the other players can shoot them. But the other players, now some of them, maybe one or two are coming to help me, but the majority are still sitting at the back. There are 15 players. Half of them are sitting at the back. And you know what else? Now here's more tanks coming, enemy tanks are coming to attack our base. So I'm hiding behind the rock here, so I have some protection. And I already killed like 3 or 4 tanks. I don't know what the rest of my team is doing. So what is weird is sometimes, I thought, okay, I'll play tank destroyer, it could be fun. So I've got the Panzerjäger. And so I thought, okay, so I'll sit a little bit further at the back and, maybe I'll see my team will go and spot. There's so many light tanks. I was the only tank destroyer. Well, guess what happened? Everyone sat behind me. Just because I was far back, like the entire team sat behind me. Nobody was spotting. I mean, it's totally clueless. Anyway, so the same in both games. So it's not that it's better in War Thunder. What is different in War Thunder? Okay, here, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Is he human? So what is the difference? Well, there's one good thing, I guess, in War Thunder, that there's the option to play against teams that are Axis versus Allies. So you can have, let's say, on the Allies some British and American tanks or something, and the Axis you can have some German and Japanese tanks or something. So at least you don't have a total mix of tanks, but at this game that I'm playing now, it's a total mix. And so I'm doing all the killing. I don't know how many. I think I've killed like, this is a heavy tank. I'm shooting with a Panzer II. It's a heavy French tank. Somehow I've got some special ammo that can pierce the armor of heavy tanks. It was a French heavy tank, an H-38 or whatever. So H-35, or was it? Something like that. You know which ones I'm talking about. Get some weird stuff going on. So that's one good thing. And you also have airplanes. Now you see occasionally there's some airplanes flying around, not very often, but now and then. And then you have artillery, and there's artillery barrage. So we're being told that artillery will hit us. There it is. So artillery hits us, and you can see what's happening. The artillery is actually falling from above. This is weird, because the artillery is not really guns or tanks that have guns. So I'm shooting at those guys. Nobody's shooting at them. I'm doing all the killing. You see the damage. Like I did like most of the team damage, or most of the damage in the team. I killed like most of the enemy tanks or something, because everyone was sitting back doing nothing. The base is here, people. It's not like on the Pacific or something. It's not in Australia. It's here. Hello. So the weird thing about artillery is that it falls from the sky. Yeah, it falls perpendicularly. So even if you're behind some rocks or a mountain, they still fall down on you. Whereas people who complain about artillery in World of Tanks have no idea what it's like in this game. So another guy, hello. What on earth? What the? Okay, he's turned around. Okay, he's human. At least he's facing me. Now he's running. What? I don't know what's going on. So I killed 10 tanks in this battle. Okay, and here you see, I don't know whether this was artillery or an airplane. It's some kind of artillery. It's like hit us from above. And although I was totally behind, with my back behind that huge rock, huge mountain or something, I still got hit by whatever was hitting us. Could have been an airplane, but I think it was artillery actually. So then once you get killed, unlike in World of Tanks, you can respawn. So I respawned in that Czech tank from the early war, a very goofy looking tank. And I won't be able to do any more damage because basically we've captured the base and I was able to defend it from the enemy tanks. And that's it, basically we won. You can see from the counter on the top, the blue versus the red. Basically we've won already and this battle is going to end. I won't see any action in this tank. This isn't a very good tank. It has a good gun. Once you can upgrade it, you get some special ammunition. But otherwise not a great tank. The Panzer II though is a very good tank. And there's a Panzer IV-C, which is also very good. These are sort of early level tanks, the ones that I have, basically. Very nice. The Panzer IV-C I recommend it, and the Panzer II are very good. But forget about the other ones, they're all useless. And the Panzerjäger has a good gun, but then when the rest of the team is totally, so bloody minded, don't know what they're doing, that you don't get to use it as a tank destroyer. When you advance into the game, you can also get helicopters. I think it's mad. So I'm going to compare this mindless lemming-like behavior with the battle that I had recently. So I had also a couple of World of Tanks games yesterday, and again the same behavior. I don't know how this is possible, but I guess it's not just War Thunder that has this issue, as you know. World of Tanks has this issue as well. You have these teams where people have no idea what they're doing, and very often, a lot of the time, really comes up to you. I feel like I have to carry all the time, otherwise we will lose if I don't carry. And I'm going to show you another such game, and in fact 2 games. But let's start with this one now, just for the sake of the comparison. So we are in World of Tanks, Tier 5, TD, the T-67, which is going to get nerfed. Is it a better tank than other tank destroyers? It supposedly has a higher win rate. That is true. It's more flexible because it has a turret and it has a fast-firing gun and good accuracy, good gun depression. It has some good things. So I decided to nerf it. So it's going to happen very soon. Before the nerf, I'm going to show you a game. I have a 55% win rate in this. This is on a par with the win rates on my other TD. So in my hands, it's not much better. I have some TDs that have worse, but maybe the average is about 53 or 54%, so 55 is a little bit better. I guess that is true. So what I'm going to do here, there are a couple of positions really for TDs, one on the left, one on the middle here, and one on the right. So I'm going to take the middle position. Why? Because I have a turret. and so I'm more flexible. Even though this position is exposed, I'm also fast in this tank. There are no targets, so I'm going to shoot to the middle. I'm going to blind shoot these boosters while nobody's being spotted. But you can see already, check the minimap, everybody in the team going together. It's a huge lemming train, and you know, I don't think lemmings are necessarily dumb, but you know, maybe people who behave like lemmings. I don't know. I don't know, what can I say. So everybody now is going down on this side, and nobody's going to the right. And there was the T here and a T-28. They were going to the right, but they realized this is stupid, so they're going to the left. And one guy, the T-28, even managed to shoot me. I don't know why. He thought maybe he's upset that I didn't go to the right to support them. You know, I mean, this is the best position for me. You know, I'm a TD. So everybody's going left. We already lost one guy. We spotted no one there. So it's obvious that their team is coming from the other side. So the team is coming from all that empty area where we have no tanks. The T here is retreating. I'm in a TD. Sure, it's top tier. But nonetheless, I'm not here to brawl. You know, I'm expecting the mediums and the heavies to be in front of me, not behind me. What can I do? It's obvious they're here, people. Should I count up to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it goes. It's obvious they're on this side. Okay, bounce. I'm switching to gold because he's a heavy tank. And I've double boosted myself. There's another heavy tank behind him. And the T-28 and the T here are helping me out. Another guy has turned up on the right light tank. He's gonna spot me anytime now. He's gonna spot me anytime. He spotted me. What can I do? Yeah, people, they're here. Hello. Oh, what can you do? Okay, I killed him. And there's another guy. 2 guys now on this side. Okay, let's kill the T-28 just to block that guy behind him. There's a Leopard or something behind him. He's a very dangerous tank. No, Panzer 38 and A with a machine gun. Very dangerous. Oh, damn it. Okay, he got me. So, I killed 4 tanks. It's the beginning of the battle, and the Chi has killed another. They killed the Panzer 38T. So, the 2 of us killed 5 enemy tanks, and the rest of the team has killed nobody. And this is this a typical game? I would not say it's typical, but it's not rare. This happens a lot. And even, you know, here I was able to manage 4 enemy tanks, but you can see I was totally isolated, except for the Chi here. The other 13 tanks were hiding at the end, at the edge of the map, where there's no enemy. And I constantly find myself in this position, so I try to fall back, but I also feel like I have to defend the base. I mean, the point of this game is to defend your own base and take the enemy base. And then, you know, you realize basically, it's basically just you. And if you like it, it's going to be another guy, who's another 1 or 2 guys who know what they're doing. But it's basically just you, and, you know, just throw it away. At least get some kills, because it's just you. So I don't have the results of that battle. I was so frustrated. I'm going to show you a second battle. On this one, I'm in an SPG. And the SPGs are the only tanks that are not bots. So if you don't believe this, watch this battle. So I've called my SPG the Nostradamus Bombard. I have a new crew because I moved the crew to the Breton Panther that I got recently, and so I'm going to use that crew for my French mediums, and I put a new crew in this tank. So I have a new crew. I do have 6th sense, but it is a new crew. So it's not the most experienced crew, and you'll see what happens in this battle. Okay. And again, you know, there are a lot of people who say, oh, you know, SPGs don't contribute much, they sit behind, they are useless as tanks, but they just sit behind and they are bots. I mean, you'll find out who's bots in this battle, okay? And I'm not just talking about me. So I blind shot and killed this guy. Now, we have 14 aside in this battle. Everyone can blind shoot. Not just me. Okay, this time I missed. I have nothing better to do because nobody has spotted anybody, so I'm just blind shooting for now. And while I'm doing that, I'm slightly moving my tank so I don't get counter batteried. And I want to see where the enemy SPG is. It's a guerrilla. And here we finally spotted some enemy tanks. So they're all coming on this side. I expect the majority of them. Because the other tanks have gone across, have not spotted very many. You see, they're even coming from the road down the valley. So we've totally been overwhelmed on this side. And well, we've got one kill. That's the tank that I killed at the beginning, that camping tank destroyer. And there are at least 4 tanks on this side, plus 2 approaching our approaching our side of the hill, our spawn. Okay, so our light tank there has been killed. We're actually 3 tanks down, and they have 5 on this side now. And another one of our tanks suicided and got killed out in the open. I mean, you go out in the open against 5 enemy tanks which are in cover. What do you expect will happen? Plus you can get sniped from across the valley. So I'm trying to give my team as much support as I can on this side. There's probably one tank hiding there. If I can hit him. I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and wait. No, I missed. And I want to also help my team on this side. Unfortunately, there's only one SPG per side, so I can't be everywhere at once, and those guys seem to be in cover. So this side logically should attack the tanks inside, and they have also a heavy tank now. They have 6 tanks that have come up this side. Okay, I killed the first one of those 6 tanks, and the rest are across the valley, probably. And plus the 2 that came over down the road. Yeah, we killed one of those. The other one retreated. But in killing that one, we actually lost a hetzer and several other tanks. We're down 7 tanks already. Half our team has died. And I've killed 2 tanks. The rest of our team has killed 1. So this guy's going to retreat. I want to get him because he's a tough cookie. He's a heavy tank. But he's retreated. He's out is safe now. So I guess he's not a complete bot. And so this is a weird thing. You know, when I check the win rates of my teammates very often, the average is about 45, 46, 47%. How is this possible? I mean, somebody must be winning. You can't have average. It's not just my team. You know, in my battles, this is the average win rate of people, about 47, 46, 47%. And I'm wondering, how is this possible? Because if so many people are losing battles, they have win rates below 50%, there must be some people who have win rates above 50%. Yeah, it's logical. Somebody must be winning. There are teams 15 versus 15. I don't know how this works. But every time I checked in my battles, not just my team, also the enemy team, people have win rates around 46, 47% on average. Can be a lot worse than that. So another blind shot on the heavy tank. This is a main threat thing that they have. It's a top tier heavy tank. And I missed this blind shot. So he's still alive, so he's still a threat. I've killed 4 tanks, and Matilda's killed 2. The rest of our team, between them, killed 1 tank, and they're all dead now. No, they're not all dead. There's one of them alive, he just died. So we're down to 2 tanks now, the Matilda and me. And this guy unfortunately just got away. I saw this tree falling down, so I'm expecting an enemy SPG, probably the gorilla is here. I don't know if I can blind shoot him. But it could be another guy, but I think it's the gorilla who's there. So the guerrilla has started moving. Why? Because they have massive superiority. There's only 2 of us left. It's 14 aside. So the guerrilla has started moving. It's going to come either over the valley or to our side or down the valley. So the enemy team is attacking. Here's the enemy heavy tank. So I managed finally to kill him. And another one here. If I can kill him, it's tier 4, so it should be 1 shot. Kill him. And this guy is 1 shot as well. Tier 4. He ran into cover. And so now the enemy has 5 tanks, we have 2. The odds are still against us. Basically, we're 1 tank and 1 SPG, and I've said before, SPGs aren't proper tanks because they're severely handicapped. They don't have a turret, they don't have armor, they have slow mobility, everything, slow reload, slow traverse, slow everything. The only thing you can do is shoot over hills, basically. But not as much as in War Thunder, where the artillery falls from above. So here you can shoot over some obstacles, but it's not as easy and simple as in War Thunder. So I think this is slightly more realistic. So the Matilda, where he was, you could proxy spot anyone coming my side. I don't know if he was doing this consciously, but I thought it was a good position for him. The downside is that we had no view towards our base, neither him nor me. And so I don't know what he's going through his mind. Now he's going over that side. That means our base is suddenly defended, and the enemy team has numerical superiority, so we should not go on the attack. We should defend the base. But he's going down along the side of the valley. I don't know why. Hopefully we'll come back. And he's coming back. If you check on the minimap, so he's going over to spot our base, so that's sensible. Now, however, I have to move forward to spot the area here in front of us, because now he cannot spot the area in front of us. So I feel like I have to move to do that. So I'm moving, and I remember that was a big mistake, because just as I decided to move, this guy came up and he spotted me. Fortunately, I bounced. Now I have auto-locked him. I'm auto-aiming, but no, the Matilda killed him. It wasn't me. The second shot, though, damaged me. The second shot he fired. So now I am 1 shot. If the guerrilla hits me, so I expect now the guerrilla that has already started moving probably is coming either along the hill, along this side, or he's coming approaching along the valley, one of the two. And I'm moving around because I was lit earlier, so you may try to blind shoot me. So I'm going to get this position so I can spot in this direction if the enemy attacks over here. They have 2 tanks over here. And where's the guerrilla now? The enemy has now 3 tanks, 2 tanks on the side on the guerrilla. I expect the guerrilla could also be on this side, could be in the valley. He is in the valley, there he is. And because he's smart, he's going to guard his safe. He's the only enemy tank that's been careful enough to guard his safe. So you tell me, who are the bots? In fact, he nearly got to our base. That's the other thing. He nearly, capped. And so now I expect the other 2 enemy tanks to be on the side, camping somewhere. We already have 10 kills. We have 12 kills. No, 11 kills between the 2 of us. I have 7 kills, he has 4. He's decided he wants to platoon, so I expect he's human. But I don't know about everyone else in this game. The only guys who were clearly human was the guerrilla, the SPG, and him because he decided to platoon with me. But he was doing something weird before he decided to go down this side, which, there was no reason why he should go down this side. He was leaving the base undefended. And we were weak in numbers, so we had to defend. So anyway, so as he has decided to go down that side, I want to give him kind of moral encouragement. So I'm coming with him just to give him moral support, not for any other reason. Now he spotted this light tank, and he's in a Matilda. The light tank is also tier 4, and probably cannot pan the Matilda, so he can easily kill him. But he's probably worried that he might get shot in the back. So I'm blind shooting these bushes to encourage him, to tell him that I'm taking cover of your back, go and kill the light tank. Yeah, so I'm, and I don't think anybody's here because I've been blind shooting these bushes for a long time. I think the other enemy light tank, this another one, I think there is left. Or is it light tank? No, it's a tank destroyer. I think it's left, and so we only have probably this one light tank on this side, but the Matilda is ignoring him. The Matilda is just going on regardless. So you tell me what's going on through people's minds. It's very hard to understand sometimes how people think. I mean, I have to believe he is a real player, a real human, because he asked me to platoon. He's not a bot. Otherwise, I would think it's only me and the other SPG who are real humans, the Grilla, because everyone else has been so ineffective, so just, they were not even thinking how they would do it. So I see this guy now, you can check, he's flipped himself. I don't know how he managed that. He was probably so scared of the Matilda, he was trying to hide, and he flipped himself, and the Matilda didn't even shoot him. However, the bad side of this is that his gun is facing this way. He tried to shoot me, but he missed, and I got the whole of his tank. I was slightly protected. I was lucky that he missed, and I got the whole of his tank. Now, he could one shoot me, but the Matilda was invulnerable and is in full health, and didn't bother to shoot him. You tell me what's going on through people's minds. I mean, I have to believe he is a bot. He's killed 4 tanks as well. 4 enemy tanks. I mean, he's the best player in our team. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on. What can I do to improve the matchmaking? You tell me. I can do anything, I don't have access to the game. Can I mod it? Can I produce a mod? You tell me what the code is, and I'll try to produce a mod to improve the matchmaking. If it's accessible, if the code for the matchmaking is accessible. This is really crazy. How can you have 2 teams full of such bad players? Okay, the Matilda has full health, expects from me to go and spot that I am one shot in an SPG. I assume. So I'm going to spot for the Matilda. So I'm going to go to the base, and I'm going to cap and spot from the enemy base. And here, I spotted the enemy tank. And the enemy tank, that was a light tank, could not spot me. I was moving an SPG and I spot an enemy light tank that was stationary and could not spot me. I mean, you solve this riddle. Anyway, so here are the results. I've got a ton of medals. I've got the Ace Tanker and Bruiser badge for setting someone alight, or blowing his engine or something. I got the Raleigh Walters medal for killing 8 or 9 tanks. I killed 8. And then Top Gun for killing 5 to 6 tanks. I killed obviously more than 6. And the Starks medal, that's an interesting one. While in an SPG, destroy at least 2 enemy vehicles and receive at least 2 enemy hits. I did receive 2 enemy hits, one penned me, and the other fortunately bounced, only tracked me. So that is a rare medal. Then I got the Nidings medal for destroying all enemy light tanks, and not just that, but destroying all enemy light tanks in an SPG. For crying out loud. I mean, what sort of game is this? What sort of matchmaking? These were like 2 battles that I played yesterday, both of them. In fact, all 3 battles I played them yesterday. I don't know, I played a total of 30 battles maybe yesterday. And these are 3 of those 30 battles in War Thunder and in Wall of Tanks. And you tell me, how does this make sense? What sort of people play these games? So I've got the high caliber, that's for the highest damage. I've got crucial contribution because along with my platoon mate, we got more than 12 kills. In fact, we got 13 kills between the 2 of us, and the rest of the team got 1 kill between the 12 of them. Oh dear. brother in arms for killing 3 tanks each, along with my platoon mate. And here are the results. I got the most experience, nearly 1,000. I got the most damage and the most kills in this battle, even though I was in an SPG. And all the targeted tanks that are such great players did not manage to do a whole lot between 13 of them, at least the 12 of them that managed to kill 1 tank between the 12 of them. And so also got some credits and so on. One good thing playing SPG is that it's cheap. You don't fire special ammo, so it's cheap. So you tell me what's the problem with the teams in the War of Thunder, World of Tanks, and how is it possible that there are so many players that don't seem to have a clue of what's going on? Thank you for watching.